Hello, my name is Cliff. I'm back this week with my first weekly progress update after officially starting last week. Um, I'm going to try to make this video quicker than last week, so here we go. I did a lot more of these circle and line exercises. In fact, last week, the first day of last week, that's all I did. I find these relaxing, they warm me up, and I think they're good for my arm to get out of the habit of drawing like I write. So I do this a lot, as you can see. I only drew a few sheets in my sketchbook last week. I tried just drawing a bunch of random items. I continued practicing on cameras, and I started to get the angle of the ellipse down a little bit better. This is my baby. He doesn't look anything like that, I assure you. Did some gestural drawing of my cats and my kid again. More cat, just a bunch of random things, pen, some sort of case, my hand, dongle, some weight, flashlight. I tried to spend a little bit more time on these things. Something I kind of learned last week was things look really bad in the middle. And then the more time you put into them, they start to look better. So it's easy to want to stop in the middle. This looked terrible in the middle. And it's not great now, but it at least looks a lot better than it did in the middle. So it's easy to want to stop. And you kind of have to push through that. And then at the end, you get something that doesn't look too bad, I think. Yeah. All right, so I did more of these circle and line exercises on large paper, which really, really helps, I think. More and more of them. Like I said, I did a lot of these last week. And then these dots, I also started doing curves. These dots are for targeting, so I try to hit through all of the dots. And I go really quick, just to try to get my arm used to making different motions. Here's a bigger perspective drawing. Nothing too interesting. Some more perspective drawings. Let's see, more of these circles. More circles and lines. Something I started doing, I'll talk about that in a second. So then I set up a vase with some flowers and tried drawing that. I did a quick sketch, slightly slower sketch, and then an even slower sketch. This is probably a couple of minutes, maybe 5 minutes, and then 10, 20 minutes. And you can see the more time you put into it, it really makes a difference. And I think a big part of drawing, for me so far, what I've learned is just building up that confidence to keep going or put more time into it. Because it's easy to, be halfway through and just want to stop. Because it'll look really bad. I did this color template with my watercolors. I have some tube watercolors from when I was a kid. They're not labeled, so I just wanted to see kind of what all the colors look like. So I laid this out, and each color is down the middle, and then they're mixed, along each way. More circles. So what I was going to say before is that what I started doing with these circle and line drawings while I was warming up is just trying to get different patterns and maybe compositions to start practicing with that. Obviously nothing great, but I think it helps. I came back the next day and I did more of these drawings of the same flowers in a vase, and I don't know if the second day was an improvement, but consistent. And then the next day I also painted it in watercolor, which I think turned out okay. I've never done this before, obviously, but I don't think I like the way I inked over it afterwards to give it a little extra texture or something, and I don't really like the way that turned out personally. So it's something I might have to try a little bit more. Here's some more circles. I just tried different shapes and sizes on each side. Then I started playing around with these line patterns while I was warming up. And then on the last day I did a few more of these sort of abstract watercolor paintings. I don't really like the way any of them turned out, but I guess that's the nature of it. You have to get all the bad ones out. And I mean, somebody might like these, but personally it's not what I was going for. It's not how I wanted them to look, so I don't really like them. Otherwise, I read a book called Art and Fear, which you can find a review of on my blog. I'll link to that in the description. I also continued watching Control Paint videos. I think that's all I really did. I'm also learning how to do YouTube videos, so that's taking a bit of my time right now. So yeah, if you have any suggestions or comments, feel free to put them below. I hope something about this might inspire you to also try and draw or paint. So yeah, thanks for watching.